But it worked out. When I got to, so I took Python at the 2-year university, and then the main campus, they had a switch. And
Okay.
so instead of Python as like that first introductory, like computer science class that you take, they switched it to Java.
Hmm.
And so me going from taking Python on the 2-year campus,
Yeah.
me being like, oh, this is easy. This is,
Yeah.
I can look at it, I can understand
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah.
When I took that Java class, that was the first time I like considered actually dropping out of the computer science program.
A lot of
I
people said
remember,
that in CS.
yes, I remember just being in my room. And at that point, I can't remember if that class was online. I believe it was online, but I just remember being in my room, like looking at this, like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. And after a while, I got more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And I got comfortable to the point where I actually like Java now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you're better than me. I funny story. I did
Mhm.
it wasn't Java. I did the CS50. I did it.
Yes.
So on YouTube, you can actually go on
Oh, they
YouTube.
have it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have those courses. So
Mhm.
like year after year, they have like the free courses that they share with you, like the full course. Like they
Yeah.
have like the literal.
The study
Um,
sets, like the problem sets and
yeah. Well,
everything.
actually,
Yeah.
no. The teachers like you can literally listen to like the lesson plans.
Oh,
Like they have
okay.
the whole semester.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Now this was like in maybe 2017, 2016-ish
Mhm.
though. I don't know if it's still, it probably is. It may be like new
Mhm.
revamped,
Okay.
curriculums
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I think they revamp it every now
Yeah.
and then. Yeah.
But I did, at that time they were doing like C, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I could do it.
Yes.
Man, when I looked at I was like, oh my
He
God,
was like,
okay.
"What is
I'm getting
this?"
into cyber.
Yes.
That was like the main thing that made me kind of drive towards it. So
Yes.
I know how to code Python, but
Mhm.
but Python's easy
Yeah.
compared to like C and all those other
Yeah.
things. I'm like, oh my God, like that thing just took me for a
A
loop.
loop, yes. Literally a
Yeah,
loop. But
yeah,
so the thing is though with Java, so
hmm,
like after seeing that
yeah,
and working with it for so long, because there was a whole semester where we just worked in Java in
yeah.
my software development. Yeah, it's called software development course.
Okay.
Nothing but Java. And then I had another course where we were only learning C++, which is like machine
Yeah, yeah, yep,
language.
yep.
So we were working in a Visual Studio. After seeing that, now when I look at Python, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, there's
yeah,
nothing there. Like,
yeah,
I need some structure.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of like Java because it kind of has a structure.
Gotcha.
So we're like, if something kind of, something's wrong, then you
Yeah,
can kind of tell.
yeah, yeah,
With Python, it's like because there's not that much syntax, it's
yeah.
like, okay, when something's wrong,
Yeah, the
like,
errors are
I
like a
don't
little
really
weird.
know
Yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah,
And then watch it be a semicolon that
yeah,
you're
yeah,
is
yep, yep,
it just doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
That part is annoying. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give you that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. So you were still going through the
Mhm.
courses. What did you want to be at the end of like getting out of like
Ooh.
software engineering?
So by the end of it, job wise, so I had like two paths.
Okay.
So job wise, I definitely wanted to be a software engineer because
Okay.
I knew I wanted something like deeply technical. I kind of wanted to like get to the base level and build
Yeah,
up
yeah.
from there.
Yep.
So that in terms of job, but in terms of my business, like I literally wanted to like build my own app,
Yeah,
build my
yeah.
own
Yep.
platforms,
Yep.
and do that whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
now I'm doing both.
That's awesome. Did you do any internships?
I did.
Okay.
So the company that I interned with, both of my internships, that's the company that I'm working for now.
Okay.
And so they're a Fortune 500 insurance company.
Okay.
And so the first year that I interned with them, I was a functional analyst.
Okay.
So that's like on the intersection of business and technology. So it wasn't anything super technical.
Gotcha.
The most like crazy thing that I did was build a website for that like branch in my organization,
Yep.
so they could like display their services to the rest of the organization.
Gotcha.
And then I learned a lot of Salesforce in that position.
Nice.
I learned a bit of like Salesforce development.
Okay.
So they use Apex, which is like their little coding language within their Salesforce ecosystem.
Gotcha.
I learned a bit of that, but mostly I was just making PowerPoints,
Okay. Yeah.
like doing certifications and things like that.
Gotcha.
And then they asked me if I wanted to come back summer 2024.
Okay.
So my first internship, summer 2023,
What year were you?
I was a sophomore, so I
Okay.
was a rising junior.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was remote. So I was living here in Georgia,
Okay.
and I was just on my computer.
It was paid?
It was paid.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Nice.
I was
Okay.
very happy.
Yeah.
And then the second year, they invited me back, and then I had more flexibility about the route I wanted to go,
Okay.
because they reached out to me earlier. So like the first year I got my internship, I almost didn't make it
Yeah.
because like I was I was like running around with my chicken, like a chicken with my head cut off,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to find internships
Gotcha,
and just
gotcha.
like trying to network with as many people as
Yeah,
possible. So I ended up getting that internship like a month before it started,
yeah,
which that's kind of late, you know.
yeah, yeah.
The second time I told them I wanted to do something in development, and so they gave me the options. And one of the options was the team that I'm currently working on in
Okay.
cloud engineering. So
Nice,
yeah.
nice, awesome, awesome. And then you did that sophomore year. You did it again for your
For junior, yeah, rising to
oh rising.
senior.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So you did it for 2 years in a
yeah,
row, and
two
then
years.
okay, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then uh, offer wise, did you negotiate your offer when you got your
Yeah,
okay,
so they gave me a range.
okay,
And so I did negotiate so that I could get like the higher end of the range.
okay? How'd you
Um,
negotiate? Because people,
how
that's
did I
the yeah, because that's like a
negotiate?
thing people don't really like talk about. Like, how
Yeah.
do you negotiate like your offers?
Okay.
Yeah,
So, number one, they gave my manager gave me two options about what team I wanted to go to.
hmm
And so he says, okay, you can go to this team and do data analytics, or you can stay with us and do cloud engineering.
hmm
And so I weighed my option, and I just like knew I didn't like have to do any research. I just knew that like data analytics wouldn't like be as you would probably get paid more as a cloud engineer than a data analyst at
gotcha.
that point. And I had spoken to other people as well. So I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And then when it came down to the negotiation,
Yep.
I kindly asked, you know, we were on a call and I asked him, so, you know, what's the pay range for it? And my manager, he's like super transparent.
Yeah,
And so like it can make it harder to negotiate when the person that you're trying to negotiate
yeah.
with
It keeps
isn't
it
like
locked. Yeah,
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 or
yeah,
they're not open.
yeah,
And so I remember him just like pulling up the whole like pay scale for
yeah,
me, and he shows me where I would fall
yeah,
in the range for that.
yeah,
And so I asked him because I have to go to a whole new state
yeah, yeah,
and you know XYZ, is
yeah,
there any way that I can get, you know, the higher end?
yeah.
And he went back and he spoke to his people, and this was like last December.
Nice.
So around that time they weren't even sure if they were going to have a position for
Yeah,
me like open, and I'm very like grateful that they did
yeah,
because they were telling me March, and so it ended up being December.
yeah,
And our VP at that time was like on the way out the door,
yeah.
and well, he was voluntarily leaving, but
Involuntarily.
no, voluntarily.
Okay,
Yeah, I
gotcha.
didn't
Okay,
want to say on the way out the door like something bad
yeah.
happened, but he was you know, stepping back.
Okay.
And so I talked to my manager and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get that, but I'll ask."
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean, he asked
yeah,
and I didn't get it, so I got like the lower end, but it's okay.
yeah,
But it's really just about asking,
yeah,
and you know, definitely if you prefer to do things in writing,
yeah.
then you can. I prefer to like talk to people.
Right.
And so I just asked him. I mean, my manager is really cool, so he
Okay.
didn't make it, you know,
Yeah,
awkward or
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it was about like funding at that point. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Did they give you at least relocation bonus and all that jazz?
So the company that I'm with, they do not do relocation for their entry level hires. So for their new hires,
Gotcha.
that's what I've been taught, and I've talked to multiple people about
Yeah.
this. And it's the same thing across the board. And so that was one of the drawbacks for me in accepting the offer. But honestly, the amount that I'm being compensated for like my first year, like
Yeah.
fresh out of college,
Yeah.
it makes it worth it. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't an issue, but
Yeah.
it would have been a nice to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool. All right. So, your first year. How was your first year when I
yeah.
say yeah?
So first year, like
Yeah.
in the job.
In the job.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So after my internship last year in the summer, I did get my internship extended, like
Okay.
all through the fall. And so like I got hired like, and I graduated in December 2024.
Okay.
So I started in January 2024. So I literally
Okay.
after graduation, I literally ran down to North Carolina so I could go move in and kind of get,
Gotcha.
you know, settled in. Those first few weeks, it was a continuation of the work I had already been doing as an intern. So
Okay.
it's kind of like I was just picking up, you know. So
Okay.
it wasn't difficult or anything.
Okay.
But it did get challenging because now this is my job, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not an intern, you know, I can't come and go when I
Yeah.
please or
Yeah.
anything like that. And
Yeah.
now I have actual deliverables,
Yeah.
you know, that I have to keep up with. So that was pretty difficult, but honestly, I found like a system that works for me, and it's just to break things down into like the smallest possible step
Gotcha.
and just like, you know, build your way up to like the more difficult things. And certain things were difficult for me.
Mhm.